Deep in the Yale University Library lies one of the world's most mysterious books, the Voynich manuscript. Discovered in 1912 by rare book dealer Wilfrid Voynich, this strange 15th-century document is written in a language no one has ever understood. Its pages are filled with bizarre illustrations, unidentifiable plants, and complex star charts. Over the past century, cryptographers, linguists, some believe it's an elaborate hoax. Others think it's an ancient lost language, or even proof of contact with another civilization. Artificial intelligence has analyzed it too, but still, no clear answer. After more than 600 years, the Voynich manuscript remains unread, unexplained, and untouched by translation. What message lies within those pages? No one knows. But one thing's for sure, it wasn't meant for our eyes. In 1513, Ottoman Admiral Piri Reis drew a world map that still baffles experts today. It shows South America with stunning accuracy, and even includes Antarctica, centuries before it was officially discovered. Even stranger? It seems to show Antarctica without ice, something we only confirmed with modern radar. How did he know? Some say ancient lost maps. Others think it's evidence of advanced forgotten civilizations. The Piri Reis Map is real, and its secrets remain unsolved. In 1977, a radio telescope in Ohio picked up a powerful 72-second signal from deep space. It was so unusual. The astronomer who found it wrote, "Wow," next to the data, giving it its name. The signal matched what scientists expected from an alien transmission, but it was never detected again. No satellites, no stars, no natural source has ever explained it. To this day, the WOW signal remains the best candidate for a message from extraterrestrials. Hidden in the dusty hills of southeastern Turkey lies one of the greatest archaeological mysteries ever discovered, Göbekli Tepe. Built over 11,000 years ago, 7,000 years before the pyramids. This site challenges everything we thought we knew about human history. Massive T-shaped stone pillars, some weighing over 20 tons, are arranged in circular formations, many carved with intricate images of animals and symbols. But here's the mystery. Göbekli Tepe was built by prehistoric people, before writing, before farming, and before metal tools. How did these hunter-gatherers construct such a complex monument? Why did they build it? Was it a temple, an observatory, or something else entirely? Even more puzzling, around 8,000 BCE, the entire site was intentionally buried under tons of dirt, and no one knows why. Some experts believe Göbekli Tepe marks the beginning of religion itself. Others think it may have attracted people from miles around, playing a key role in the birth of civilization. But one thing is certain, this ancient hilltop sanctuary rewrites our understanding of the past, and the mystery of who built it and why still remains unsolved. High in the Andes Mountains of Peru, near the ancient city of Cusco, lies a fortress so mysterious. It continues to baffle archaeologists to this day, Sacsayhuaman, built by the Inca, or maybe even an earlier civilization. This site is famous for its massive stone walls, made of rocks weighing up to 200 tons. But what makes it truly incredible is how these stones were cut and fitted together. Without mortar, without gaps, so precisely joined that even a razor blade can't slip between them. Some stones have as many as 12 angles, all perfectly carved to fit neighboring blocks. Modern engineers struggle to explain how this was done, especially with no iron tools or wheels. Even more puzzling, how did ancient builders transport these massive rocks from quarries miles away? Through rugged terrain and steep hills? Was it an unmatched feat of engineering, lost ancient technology, or knowledge we've forgotten? To this day, no one knows how Sacsayhuaman was really built. All we know is it's one of the greatest architectural mysteries of the ancient world. In the vast desert plains of southern Peru lie one of the greatest archaeological mysteries on Earth, the Nazca Lines. Etched into the ground over 2,000 years ago, these massive geoglyphs form shapes of animals, humans, and geometric patterns. Some stretch over 300 meters, so large they can only be fully seen from the sky. But here's the mystery. The Nazca people had no aircraft. So how and why did they make such massive designs? Ancient astronomical calendars? Or alien landing strips, as some believe? Despite decades of research, no one knows for sure. And in recent years, artificial intelligence has helped scientists uncover over 300 new geoglyphs still hidden beneath the desert. Who made them? What were they for? The Nazca lines remain a haunting mystery carved into the earth, visible only to those who look from above. On a tiny island in the Pacific Ocean, over 900 giant stone heads stand guard. Silent, mysterious, and watching. These are the Moai statues of Easter Island, carved by the Rapa Nui people over 700 years ago. Each one can weigh up to 80 tons and stand over 10 meters tall. But here's the mystery. How were these enormous figures carved, transported and raised without wheels or modern tools? Some theories say they walked across the island using ropes and manpower. Others believe the islanders had knowledge we no longer understand. Even more surprising, many of the statues actually have full bodies buried underground, hidden for centuries by time and soil. Were they built to honor ancestors or to channel spiritual power? We may never know for sure. But one thing is certain. The Moai statues remain a haunting legacy of a civilization that built big and left behind big questions. Rising from the green fields of England, Stonehenge stands as one of the world's greatest prehistoric mysteries. Built over 4,500 years ago, this massive stone circle was constructed using blocks, weighing up to 25 tons, some transported from over 200 kilometers away. But here's the mystery. How did ancient people move and lift these stones without wheels, cranes or metal tools? And even more puzzling, why did they build it? Some say it was a burial site. Others believe it was a solar calendar, aligned with the sun during the solstices. And some even think it was a place for healing or alien contact. Stonehenge continues to puzzle archaeologists today. Every year, thousands gather to watch the sun rise exactly through the stones, just like it did thousands of years ago. Was it science, spirituality, or something more? Stonehenge remains a silent monument, whispering secrets from the ancient past. On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur heading to Beijing with 239 people on board. But just 38 minutes after takeoff, it vanished from radar, without a trace. Military radar showed it had unexpectedly turned west, crossing the Malaysian peninsula before disappearing over the Indian Ocean. Despite one of the largest search operations in aviation history, spanning thousands of miles, no full wreckage has ever been found. Only a few pieces of debris have washed ashore years later, far from the original flight path. Was it hijacked? A technical failure? Or something more mysterious? To this day, no one knows exactly what happened. Flight MH370 remains one of the greatest aviation mysteries of all time. In 1997, researchers from the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, picked up a strange, ultra-powerful sound in the South Pacific. It was so loud, it was detected by underwater microphones over 3,000 miles apart. They called it the Bloop. At first, scientists thought it might be geological, maybe an earthquake or iceberg, but the sound had characteristics similar to a living creature. Here's the creepy part. No known animal on Earth could make a sound that loud, not even a blue whale. Theories exploded. Was it a giant undiscovered sea monster? An alien submarine? Or something from the deep that defies explanation? Years later, NOAA suggested it was likely caused by ice quakes, cracking icebergs. But many remain unconvinced, because even today, the exact origin of the bloop is still unknown. For decades, strange theories have swirled around a mysterious object orbiting Earth, known as the Black Knight satellite. Some believe it was first detected in the 1950s, before modern satellites even existed. It reportedly emitted unusual radio signals, and astronomers claimed it was moving in a strange, polar orbit unheard of at the time. In 1998, a NASA photo from a space shuttle mission showed a strange, dark object floating in space, not matching any known satellite or debris. That photo went viral, and conspiracy theories exploded. Was it an alien probe? An ancient satellite left by a lost civilization? Or just a piece of space junk? NASA later said it was likely a thermal blanket that broke off during a mission. But many aren't convinced. Until today, the true identity of the Black Knight satellite remains one of space's most chilling mysteries. In February 1855, residents of Devon, England, woke up to a terrifying sight. Strange, hoof-like footprints in the fresh snow, stretching over 100 miles. But here's the chilling part. The tracks weren't normal. They traveled over rooftops, crossed frozen rivers, climbed high walls, and even appeared on narrow ledges no animal could reach. Locals believed it was the work of the devil himself, wandering through the night. The prints were single file, like a biped, yet shaped like cloven hooves. No known animal could have made them. Panic spread fast. Some blamed kangaroos that escaped from a private zoo. Others thought it was mass hysteria. But no theory ever fully explained how the footprints appeared across such impossible terrain and in one single night. To this day, the mystery of the devil's footprints remains unsolved and deeply unsettling. In the 1970s, the small town of Circleville, Ohio, was shaken by a wave of anonymous, threatening letters. Hundreds of residents received these creepy notes, exposing deep personal secrets, accusing people of affairs, corruption, and crimes. The writer knew intimate details no one else should know. When a school bus driver named Mary Gillespie was targeted, things turned dark. Her husband later died in a suspicious crash, and someone even set a trap on the road to kill her. A man named Paul Freshour, Mary's brother-in-law, was arrested and jailed. But even while he was in prison, the letters kept coming. Paul insisted he was innocent. The case was reopened, but the true author of the letters was never found. To this day, the mystery of the Circleville letters remains unsolved, a chilling case of a town stalked by an invisible enemy. In 1954, a man arrived at Tokyo Airport with a passport from a country that doesn't exist, called Torred. He looked European, spoke several languages, and claimed this was his third business trip to Japan. But when officials checked his passport, it showed real stamps from countries around the world. Then it got weirder. He pointed to Andorra on a map, saying, "That's Torred. My country has been there for 1,000 years." But in our world, it's just Andorra. His documents, company ID, driver's license, and bank info all matched nothing in any records. While authorities held him in a hotel under guard, he mysteriously vanished overnight, along with all his belongings. To this day, no one knows who he was or where he came from. Some say it's a hoax. Others believe it was a case of parallel dimensions crossing paths, if only for a moment. In the remote Utah desert lies Skinwalker Ranch, a 500-acre property known for decades of terrifying paranormal activity. Locals have long told stories of shape-shifting creatures, glowing orbs, UFOs, and even cattle mutilations with surgical precision. When the Sherman family moved in during the 1990s, they experienced everything from unseen voices to vanishing animals, and even a massive wolf-like creature that shrugged off bullets. The government got involved. In 1996, the ranch was secretly studied by a Pentagon-funded program under billionaire Robert Bigelow. Scientists documented unexplainable radiation spikes, magnetic anomalies, and bizarre flying objects, but no clear answers ever came. Today, Skinwalker Ranch remains under surveillance, and the mystery continues. Is it a UFO hotspot, a portal, or something even stranger? One thing's for sure. What happens here defies science. At the base of Japan's iconic Mount Fuji lies Aokigahara Forest, a place of stunning beauty and terrifying silence, also called the Suicide Forest. It's one of the most infamous places in the world, so dense that sound is nearly absorbed. Hikers often report getting lost, hearing whispers, or feeling watched. Tragically, the forest is known for attracting people in despair. Japanese officials have placed signs urging visitors to think of their families and seek help. Some trails even have colored ribbons left behind by those trying to find their way out, or by search parties. Legends say the forest is haunted by yurei, restless spirits, who lure people deeper into the trees. Locals believe it's a place where spiritual energy is trapped, feeding the darkness. Whether it's natural sorrow or something more sinister, Aokigahara remains a place shrouded in silence and shadow. The story of Atlantis begins not with archaeologists or explorers, but with a philosopher. Around 360 BCE, the Greek thinker Plato described a magnificent island, civilization in two of his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. According to Plato, Atlantis existed 9,000 years before his time, and was a powerful empire located beyond the Pillars of Heracles, what we now call the Strait of Gibraltar. The Atlanteans were said to be technologically advanced, wealthy, and militarily mighty. In a single day and night, Atlantis was swallowed by the sea. Was it a moral tale, or a real place lost to history? Scholars have debated for centuries whether Plato invented Atlantis as a cautionary tale, or if he drew from lost records of real ancient civilizations. Some argue that Atlantis was purely allegorical, Adon, a symbol of the dangers of pride and hubris. Others believe it could have been inspired by real catastrophes. The sudden destruction of the Minoan civilization on Crete and Thera, modern-day Santorini, caused by a massive volcanic eruption around 1600 BCE, eerily resembles Plato's account. Their cities, advanced for their time, were wiped out almost overnight by tsunamis and ash. Could Plato have been referencing this real-world disaster, passed down through oral traditions? From Renaissance explorers to modern satellite scientists, many have tried to find the lost city. Locations proposed range from the Mediterranean to the Caribbean. Some believe Atlantis lies near the Azores, islands in the Atlantic Ocean. Others suggest it could be buried under the sands of the Sahara Desert. In 2011, satellite imagery revealed a strange, circular structure in southern Spain's Doñana wetlands that matched Plato's description of concentric rings. But no definitive proof has ever been found. The mystery only grows deeper with every expedition. Atlantis has inspired not only historians but also conspiracy theorists and pseudoscientists. Some claim that Atlanteans were an alien race, or that they possessed ancient nuclear technology. Others tie Atlantis to lost continents like Lemuria or Mu. While these ideas are more fantasy than fact, they reflect the enduring fascination with lost knowledge and civilizations. On the scientific front, oceanographers continue mapping the ocean floor, revealing ancient structures. But none yet prove Atlantis existed. The deeper we explore, the more we realize how much of our planet's history remains buried or erased. More than 2,000 years after Plato wrote his account, Atlantis still captures the world's imagination. It appears in movies, video games, and books as a symbol of mystery and utopia. But perhaps its true power lies in what it represents. A lost golden age, destroyed by human flaws. Whether Atlantis was real or simply a myth, its story forces us to ask bigger questions about our past, our future, and what it means to lose something precious to time. As long as there are oceans to search and questions to ask, the legend of Atlantis will never fully sink. In the early morning of 1908, a massive explosion with the force of 15 megatons of TNT shook the ground in Siberia. The blast flattened over 2,000 square kilometers of forest, yet left no crater or fragments. So what happened? This is the mystery of the Tunguska event, one of the greatest scientific puzzles in history. The leading theory is that a small asteroid or comet entered Earth's atmosphere and exploded, high above the ground. The strange thing is, no one has ever found a single piece of the object that caused it. To this day, scientists are still searching for a definitive answer, leaving the Tunguska event as a giant question mark in the pages of history.
In 1901, divers exploring an ancient shipwreck discovered a bronze object that would change our understanding of history. It was the Antikythera mechanism, an intricate device filled with dozens of interlocking gears and dials. This was no ordinary artifact. It was an astronomical analog computer, built over 2,000 years, able to track the movements of the planets, predict solar and lunar eclipses, and even organize the cycles of the ancient Olympic Games. What makes it so astonishing is that technology this complex wouldn't reappear for over 1,000 years. The Antikythera mechanism is a tangible reminder that the ancient Greeks were far more advanced than we ever imagined, and a puzzle that proves history still hides many of its greatest secrets.
In 1929, a mysterious map was discovered in a dusty corner of the Topkapi Palace in Istanbul, Turkey. It was drawn by Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri Reis over 500 years ago in 1513. But here's the mind-blowing part. The map doesn't just show Europe and Africa with remarkable accuracy. It also outlines the coast of South America and even the northern coast of Antarctica, centuries before it was officially discovered. And what's even more bizarre, the Antarctic coastline appears ice-free, which hasn't been the case for over 6,000 years. According to geologists, how could Piri Reis have drawn such a detailed map without satellite data? He claimed to base it on even older source maps, some say from ancient civilizations long forgotten. Was this just a coincidence? A clever guess? Or evidence of lost knowledge, perhaps? Even contact with advanced ancient civilizations? The Piri Reis Map remains one of history's greatest cartographic mysteries, a map that simply shouldn't exist. Beneath miles of solid Antarctic ice lies a hidden world, untouched for millions of years. This is Lake Vostok, a massive freshwater lake buried under nearly 2.5 miles of ice. Sealed off from the surface for over 15 million years, it's a pristine environment unlike any other on Earth. Imagine water that hasn't seen sunlight in eons. Scientists are desperate to know what, if anything, lives in this extreme environment. Could it harbor unique forms of life, adapted to perpetual darkness and immense pressure? Drilling into Vostok is a delicate operation, a quest to uncover the secrets of a lost world without contaminating it. Lake Vostok, a frozen mystery, holding potential clues to the very limits of life.